Hello, Dr. Nicola Dellinger here. Thanks so much for all your comments on my post last week about, kind of stepping out into your spiritual path and unplugging from old energies that might be holding onto you in a way that you didn't realize. And something else I just wanted to follow up from with that, from the work of Carolyn Myss, which is what I was listening to last week, is that we or at least this actually really resonated for me, so I'm going to throw it out there and see if it's fitting for anybody else too. Part of my fear around stepping more fully onto my personal path is the reality that I fear that I will be out there alone, that I will lose my tribe, that I will lose my connections, and so I kind of hang back and I'm like, hey friends, come with me. Hey partner, come with me. Or I'm trying to make sure I could pull everybody else along with me too, because that keeps me safe, because that keeps me connected into my tribe or what I think is my tribe, and I don't know what's on the other side. And I didn't realize how true this was for me until I heard Carolyn talking about this idea of a true spiritual path being something that you ultimately walk alone. And so this is really poignant for me because I did not realize that that was part of what was holding me back. And as soon as she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I do this all the time. I'm constantly pulling people together, inviting people to come along for the ride, sharing what I'm doing, like connect, 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 connect. And in that process, there's beauty in that, certainly in and of itself, but in that process, I have been kind of disconnecting from myself, or not as fully connected to myself as I could be, if I were spending more time valuing what my internal connection between me and me and the divine. And so I think that that's a really important thing to just name, is that when we think about stepping more fully into ourselves, there can be a fear of being alone and nobody else getting us, or maybe that means that friendship that can sometimes be tricky gets tossed out the window, or that no one will understand us anymore, or there won't be any common ground. But I guess I'm here to tell you that I don't think that that's actually true, but I was holding that somewhere in the core of my belief system. And now that it's more out in the open, I'm working with that differently, and I'm noticing actually a decent amount of backlash against myself on this idea of stepping more fully into who I am as a whole person. So I just wanted to name that sometimes when we're on a spiritual path, that fear of being on our own, or being, kind of untethered, can really be holding you back. But sometimes that's absolutely what's required, is this journey within. Somebody commented last week a question about continuing to get body work or energy work as we're on the spiritual path. And my answer was that, yes, I do those things when I'm called to do those things, but those are to enhance my overall connection with myself, rather than, I used to seek out other people, like, hey, will you help me with this? Hey, can you unplug me with that? Hey, can you clear my energy system? Can you help my nervous system slow down? All of these pieces. But what I'm learning is that I'm actually the one that has to do this for myself, and that I can go get craniosacral therapy, which I love, and it can be a real adjunct to what I've got going on, but I'm not seeking that intervention or that therapeutic because I'm scared to do it myself, or think that I can't do it myself. And I'll be totally honest with you here, I am making shit up all the time. I'm like, well, I'll try it this way and I'll try it that way. And I don't have a real rigid ritual that I'm doing over and over and over again. This morning, my ritual was really different than it was the day before. Usually I do it in the morning. Yesterday, I didn't have any time to myself until late afternoon. And so I just feel like we can get to be fluid and flexible. But when we're on somebody else's 30-day challenge, or here's the 6 steps to change your life, which can be really great and informative, we're losing that opportunity to go within and say, wait a minute, what do I want to clear out? How do I want to change my life? How do I want to show up every day and greet this day? And then we have more fluidity and flexibility, and we can take these pearls and these seeds from people who have gone before us and see if they're a fit. Rather than, I've got to do it this way, I've got to do it that way. this is really an opportunity to find your own path, but that requires you stepping out on your own, which can be scary. And I can tell you, as soon as I heard Carolyn Myss say this last week when I was listening to her CDs, it was like the bottom fell out. And I was so clear that that was a big part for me that's been holding me back. Thanks for the comments that are going on there. Yeah, going deep within my inner being is a struggle. I hear you. I just want others to do it for me. I hear you. That's why I'm making this video, because I think that's actually more common than maybe we realize, and that we think that someone who's an expert in X, Y, or Z has a gift for us that's more valuable than the gift we have here. And really what's just required is slowing down and listening right here. And that might lead you to join up with a healer, or work with someone more closely, or have a guide in some way. I think that's incredibly valuable. And I love being that for the people that I work with. And I love having the people who guide me in my life too. But I think my impulse, I'm using that impulse to go and make an appointment or read a book or whatever. I'm using that as a cue to go within. And then that's then informing what's happening next, rather than having that knee-jerk reaction when I feel like maybe nervous that I can't do it on my own, or I don't know what to do. And allowing myself to sit in the unknown of, I'm not totally sure what to do with this here. I'm not totally sure why the same issue is up again, which is just fine. It's not a big deal. We get to practice being with these uncomfortable parts of ourselves, and then more lightness, more breath, more space comes in. And then maybe we are inspired to go and work with somebody, or maybe we realized, wow, I had the answers inside this whole time. So thank you so much for joining me. I love, love, love your comments, and we'll welcome all of them. And let's just continue on this journey alone together. We could do that. Yeah, of course we could do that. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.